Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Here we are, another Friday here. We're coming from New York City, as that's where we originate. And we come together once again, getting together with all of you for another edition of the Coffee Hour. Thank you so much for being aboard with us. We're going to be here for a whole full hour. And of course, you and I, we get together. And first of all, we want to wish you a happy 4th of July holiday weekend. And in some respects, the weekend is still here. A lot of people are off, so maybe now you could be with us without having to go back to work, being at the water cooler or at your desk or anything. But if you are, feel free to be with us, because those of you who are new to us, well, we want to tell you what the show is all about. See, I come together each week at this particular time, and of course, at your time, you look at your clock and see what you got going at your time, whatever your time says right now. Well, that's what we come on each week at in your area, wherever you may be. Now, because we're in different time zones, we're coming Eastern, so it's 10 o'clock where we are right now, 10 o'clock in the morning. And we get the show going on, and as the host of the show, I rev up things by doing what I'm doing right now, setting things up. And at any time at all, you can take your keyboard on your computer, on your phone, or even on your tablet and type in whatever you want to talk about. I will see you right there on the big screen. Of course, I will answer all of your questions, and we conversate together. And if there's anything in particular you want to talk about in specific, please feel free. Just type it in there and we'll get together. Even if you just want to say hi and that's it, because a lot of people, of course, they just like to watch the show without saying anything. And if you don't want to say anything, that's okay too. But as long as you're there, that's the most important thing. We have people who have been with us a long time, and we want to take the time to thank them for being with us all of these years. And we're so grateful that you are. And of course, we're going to just keep things rolling and rolling along. And of course, as usual, we want to tell you that we do come on 3 different places, especially you guys are new, right? You guys are new. We're on 3 different places. We're on Facebook Live, we're YouTube, and Instagram as well. So any one of those 3 platforms, you can watch us anywhere around the world. We're global, and you don't have to worry about it, because anywhere you go around the world, we're going to be right there with you. So you can tell your family and friends about us too. Now, if you're watching us for the very first time, particularly on Facebook, we want to take the time for you guys to, let your friends know about it. So you can do that by tagging this show to them right now as we speak. That's all it takes. And they'll see that information coming from you. And all they have to do is just click onto that tag, and it brings them directly to us. And of course, if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, they'll be back again and again, just like you. And of course, the more, the merrier. So keep the ball rolling and keep the conversation going. And of course, everything will be just fine. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, we always encourage you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us. All right. Now, all you have to do is just take your little mouse and drag it over there and point the arrow right there where it says subscribe, click onto it, and that's all it takes. There's no money, no fee, nothing involved. It's all absolutely free. And the purpose of doing that is to, first of all, we want to find out how many people are following us. That would be great. And you would do us a great favor if you do that. The second thing is that once you follow us from here on in, from now on, every time we come on live, or if we keep the thing active, and you see that you get an instant message letting you know that whenever we come on live, or we post a video or anything, or keep anything active, it gives you that information. All you have to do is click onto it, and it brings you right there. Now, a lot of people may forget about the show. And if you're a first-time watcher, you may forget about it next week when we come on the air. So all you have to do is just since you subscribe, and if you happen to be online at the time, don't worry about it. It will be a pop-up will come up just to remind you. All you have to do is click onto it, and it's right there with no problem. Those of you who are watching us on Instagram, well, you don't have to do absolutely nothing. All you have to do is just keep spreading the word. Now, for you guys who are watching us on Instagram and YouTube, you could do something similar to the people who are on Facebook. They tag their friends, and all you have to do is cut and paste our link and just send it out to your friends, as many as you like, and they'll see it and they'll click onto that link and it brings them right here. That's another way of tagging them, right? Cutting and pasting and sending it, right? So that's what we do. Okay, along with all of that, we've got a lot of things going on in the show. We are going to get together, and we've got so many things that we do usually on our show. For instance, later on in the program, Brian Camp usually comes on with the latest developments in today's world of sports. On this show, he calls this show called Sports Update, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He won't be here today. He's got the day off, but he was nice enough to send us a package of sports information, and we're going to recite all of that for you later on when that time comes. That's absolutely coming up this part and this half hour. Not too long from now, we'll let you know more about that. And of course, right throughout the show too, as we get towards the end of the show, we're going to give you those movies that we talk about. We have movies. I have my picks of the week coming from Turner Classic Movies. We do this every week, right? Turner Classic Movies. And what happens is that I pick them out and I relay them to you, because since the weekend is here, and of course, here we are, we're already into the weekend as it is now, right? But you'll get a chance, if you want to catch up on some old movies, I'm going to add to some of those movies that you want to catch up on. Some of the movies I think you're going to like. We're going to recite those for you and bring them to you so you can have something to do over the weekend, because it's a long weekend and you have plenty of time to do it. So that's all coming up, all of the Turner Classic Movies. So ladies and gentlemen, remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let's do what we do each Friday. Lift up our glasses, our cup with our favorite beverage. And because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. A little humid in New York today, but this is why I have the coffee. This is iced coffee today. So whatever your favorite beverage is, it doesn't have to be coffee. It could be milk. It could be orange juice. It could be tea, which they say is a little more refined than coffee. It could be just plain water. Whatever it is, we want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy with us. Here we are Friday, and it's the 5th. We're finally in a brand new month. It's the 5th of July. And it's the day after the 4th of July. We hope that you have had a wonderful 4th of July holiday. You celebrated last night with all the fireworks that's going on. I know here in New York, we had our regular annual fireworks right in New York City, right off of the East River. And it's the Macy's fireworks. And a lot of people went out there to see that. And it was all over the place. And of course, I'm pretty sure wherever you are in your city, you display fireworks just to celebrate as well. We want to first celebrate by saying hello to everyone who are watching us on Facebook. Hello to Mary Reed out there, and good to see you. And I hope that you are enjoying the 4th of July as well. And again, and this is the holiday. Everybody's off. Everybody's off but me. All right. So I chose this day to be with you. Even though this may be your day off. And again, for some people who do not have the day off, of course, you may be around the water cooler, but if you're at your desk too, as well, please feel free to join in. And if you're on a coffee break, take that coffee break and sit at your desk. And when you do that, you'll be with us. You don't have to do anything, but when the coffee break is over, you can multitask, right? Go back to work and watch the show at the same time. But I really hope the case is that you're not at work and that you're enjoying this whole long holiday weekend. It's been a short week for a lot of people, and but I'm always glad to be with you. So here we are, the 5th of July. Now, when July 4th ends, that kind of like gives you the indication that, well, now we're on our way out of summer, and we just reached summer just a couple of weeks ago. The summer months just popped in a couple of weeks ago, but it just goes by so quick. And since we're here in the new the month, I want to remind you that this month, we usually celebrate a lot of months, but this month, particularly, I want to talk to you about that. And this is very important. This month is National Blood Donor Month, right? It is. I just found that out. So all this month, that's what we're doing. It's National Donor Blood Month. So if you desire to give any blood for any reason, and a lot of you may be able to do that, what you can do is contact the American Red Cross, or even go to your local blood bank for more information about that, and they'll give you the loop, or they'll give you the dope on how to do that and what to do, and give you all the procedures, the protocol. So that's National Blood Donor Month. And so if you desire to do that, that would be a good thing. Also, hey, this whole week, it's Shock Week. That's what it is. You heard about it, right? Shock Week. That's what they're celebrating this week, all week long. Shock Week, and all the shocks coming out. Just be very careful if you go to the beach. Watch out, because that's where they linger. I know we celebrate them, but still, they're very dangerous creatures. So be careful when you go out on the beach. And speaking of going out on the beach, those of you who live in New York, we have abundance of beaches that they go. We got Coney Island Beach, Long Island Beach, Orchard Beach, all those famous beaches. And of course, if you're in California, particularly in the Los Angeles County, over there, they have beaches over there, particularly in Santa Monica, California, right? There's the beach, it's all beach from one end to the other. And people are going out to the beach. And I do understand that a lot of people had gone out, started their trip, their journey to wherever they went, got a kick on the holiday weekend, drove out there early, wherever they had to do a fly out early. And a lot of people started their holiday like on Wednesday, to get out of town on Wednesday, so they didn't have to fight the traffic on the 4th of July. I think, and wisely doing that, because you want to be wherever you want to be on the 4th of July, right? You don't want to make the trip on the 4th of July. So people had gone out of town, and people who had vacations, they did it even earlier than that. They probably did it on that Monday. They packed their bags and just cut out to beat the traffic. And coming back, well, you get a lot of traffic too, because it seems like everybody's coming back at the same time. So everybody has to get back to work on that time. But in the meantime, enjoy your holiday weekend, and I hope you do. And there's a lot to be celebrating too, So they call it 4th of July. It's say the 4th of July, but it's called Independence Day as well. So, whatever you do, ladies and gentlemen, do it, but please do it in a manner where it's going to be safe for everybody. It's going to be safe for you. Drive safe. And by the way, if you're going to do any drinking, make sure you have a designated driver too. That's very important. A lot of people use these holidays sometimes for the wrong reason. And I guess that's just human nature. They want to celebrate the holiday with a little drinking, a little food, and all of that. So that's it. So it's great. So Mary wishes me a happy 25th. What is that? 158th America. It's 86 years. Okay, so that's she's counting the years. We're all counting the years on the independence of America. So we celebrated all of this. I mean, we had the Juneteenth, which is a very important event as well. Independence for African American. That's another Independence Day for African Americans. But this Independence Day is a kind of a different Independence Day. It's a distinction. This is the Independence Day of the country. But the Juneteenth, you have to understand, that was kind of an Independence Day for African American when the slaves were freed. So we just wanted to clear that up for you, for the record. But anyway, we're glad to have you out there with you. And if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and it's 13 minutes past the hour. And stay with us. There's many things to talk about and so many things to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me just for 1 second. Let me shoot up once again. I sort of wonder what a lot of you guys did last night after all of that, maybe the fireworks and everything that was going on. But what's going to happen for the rest of the weekend? I don't know. A lot of people are going to take that rest of that time, probably doing some outdoor cookouts, outdoor barbecues, or whatever it is. They set aside last night gearing up for the all of the fireworks that goes on, because that's the day when the fireworks start to illuminate the skies. And people enjoying it. They take their kids and their family and enjoy that, and set aside that one particular day. They go all day and gear up for that night. But I guess for the rest of the week, it's going to be a little different. It's not over yet. People are going to do a little outdoor barbecuing today. It's Friday, then you have Saturday tomorrow, and then Sunday, the final day. I guess Sunday would be the day where you want to rest up a bit because you got to get back to the grind on Monday. All right. We don't want to think about that, right? He says not to think about that just yet. He said, don't think about that just yet because that's we want to enjoy what's happening right now. So there you go. There you go. But as I said, Brian is not here, but I have a feeling what he's doing. I have a feeling he's taking the day off, which is rightly okay with me, you know. But I decided that, you know, I wanted to be with you at least part of the holiday. So this is where we are. It's 15 minutes past the hour right now, wherever you are. And of course, as I always tell you, we're all around the world. And those of you who want to get involved in conversation with me, I would appreciate that. I love when you guys do that, you know, because I want to like greet you personally. I really love it for you to do that. Some people don't, but that's okay. But if you decide that you want to get involved in conversation too, you know what I like you to do? I'm going to ask you to do, and I ask you to do this all the time. I always ask you guys to give me your full weather forecast. Mary, you don't have to do anything. Mary, you don't have to do. Brian just popped in. Can you imagine? He takes off for the day, but he's popping. He's checking up on me. That's what it is. All right. And Mary, you don't have to do this because you're out of Brooklyn, New York. But Brian, even though that you're not here, give me a forecast. Give me some kind of quick forecast or something light that's happening in Charlotte, North Carolina right now, and see what he's got going. Because I know you're gearing up for a little barbecue and friends and all of that stuff. And for the rest of you guys, no matter where you are around the world, if you're in New York, don't worry about it. I'm taking care of the local forecast here in New York. But those of you who are in somewhere in different parts of the world or something, or maybe the country or another part of the nation as well, give us your weather forecast if you decide to indulge in conversation, just like Mary and Brian. We really appreciate that because I like to take notes. I always do that. I like to take notes. I want to compare the kind of weather that we're having here with the kind of weather that you're having there. Everyone is not having good weather. You know, fortunately here in New York, it's not going to be bad. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. I'm pretty sure it's good in Charlotte, North Carolina, and other places like that. But whatever the weather is, you can make the best out of it. Again, if you're in a different part of the country, a different part of the world, and you want to indulge in conversation, please let us know your weather forecast, and we really would appreciate that. That being said, I am going to give you my weather forecast here in New York. Those of you who live in the vicinity of New York City, don't worry about it because I'm going to take care of that myself. I'll give you that local forecast, and then we'll take it from there. Would you believe right now we've got 80 degrees outside already? It's already 80 degrees outside, and the weather is not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that bad. It's as follows. It's as follows. We got partly cloudy skies for today, and we're going to have a high of 87 degrees. So we're looking for another 7-degree notch to boost it up to make the quota right there. We've got air quality alerts going on right here in New York City too. So feel free to, if you'd like to stay indoors, stay hydrated. I know it's warm out there and outside, and check up on the elderly as well. For tonight, it's going to be partly cloudy skies during the evening, giving way to a few showers. After midnight, we'll have a low of 74 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain will be 30%. We had some showers last night here in New York. And for Saturday, we'll got scattered thunderstorms. May contain strong gusty winds. We'll have a high around 86 degrees. And peekaboo sunshine comes in and out. So you kind of go along with that program, kind of like feel it out. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain is low of 40%. So that's a low percentage of rain. So just kind of keep your fingers crossed. You never know, things may change. Saturday night, mostly cloudy skies will develop, and we'll have scattered thunderstorms during the evening. We'll have a low of 76 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain is 40%. And of course, there's always an end to everything, which means this holiday. And by that time that happens, you'll see Sunday will be partly to mostly cloudy. of a high 88 degrees for Sunday, and winds will be light and variable. And repeating our current temperature here in New York City, we've got exactly 80 degrees, and even 80 degrees outdoors. And so that's what's happening. Now, I gave you my weather forecast. That's my weather forecast. The rest of you guys, let us know what you have. Hello to Duncan Myers out there. I believe Duncan, yeah, he is right. He's out of Texas, coming out of Texas. Duncan used to live here in New York too, but he decided to give up New York, just like everybody who left New York to go someplace else. He decided to make the switch to Texas. And so, thank you, Duncan. Duncan, let us know, what do you got out there for your weather in Texas? What's the weather like in Texas? Give me a brief something, the temperature and whether you got cloudy skies or sunny skies, or whatever it is. Let me know what you got. Brian, did you give me your weather forecast? He said he did. He did once. Happy birthday, America. Well, he did. Did he say that? Okay, let's see what he got there. I'm looking forward to it anyway. Let me see. Well, I'm going up and down the aisle and see what's going on. So anyway, good morning to all of you who have come in. Warren out of North Carolina, to be exact, he's out of Greensboro, North Carolina, checking in. And I see a sunny emoji there, so I'm figuring he's got sunny skies out there. I'm not sure what his temperatures are, but if you feel free to chime in and jump in anytime you like. So that's what has happened. So thank you guys for giving me your weather forecast. And the rest of you guys, you're out there and you decided that you want to chime in conversation, give us your weather forecast as well. We really would appreciate that. As I said, Brian is here, but he's not here. All right. So I'm going to pick up the slack of what he usually does and give you a little bit of sports, what's happening on the sports scene, just a summary of what's happening on the sports scene. Let's start it off right now. Philadelphia sports radio broadcaster Howard Eskin has been suspended from the Phillies. All of the Philly home game for the rest of the season after investigations has been employed. His employers showed he kissed a woman from Citizen Bank Park's food services provider without her consent. You better be very careful what you do on the work job, all right? Okay, former Toronto Raptors, the player, Jonte Porter, will be charged with federal felony connected to a sports betting scandal that spurred the NBA to ban him. And federal prosecutors in Brooklyn filed what's known as the criminal information. The document shows the case he's related to as the existing prosecution of 4 men charged with scheming to cash in on tips from a player about a plan to exit 2 games early. Porter's lawyer, Jeff Jensen, said last month that Porter has been over his head due to gambling addiction, but was getting treatment and was cooperating with law enforcement. Oh, the Nathan's Famous hot dog eating contest crowned a new winner. Did you know that? With the annual 4th of July competition, with the absence of longtime champ Joey Chestnut amid a fight over vegan dogs. Chicago's Patrick Bartoletti, who's 39 years old, took the mustard belt after downing 58 franks and buns in a neck-and-neck 10-minute race at Coney Island. That saw the leader repeatedly bounce back and forth. Chestnut, known as Jaws, was banned from the this year's competition because he cut a deal with the rival brand Impossible Foods, which is famous for his meatless Impossible Burger. On this day, July 5th, birthdays, Lou Gehrig, 1934. Lou Gehrig hit a record 17 career Grand Slam home run past Babe Ruth. And I may mention while I'm on that subject that on the 4th of July, 85 years ago, yesterday, that's when Lou Gehrig made his famous speech on Lou Gehrig Day at Yankee Stadium when he was retiring from his ailment. In 1947, Cleveland Indians, at the time they were called the Cleveland Indians, rookie Larry Darby becomes the first Black player in AL, that's American League. In 1975, Arthur Ashe becomes first AA to win Wilmington's men title. He defeated Jimmy Connors in that act. In 1989, Barry Bonds homers just joining his father, Bobby Bonds, most father-son of 408 record. In 1991, Major League Baseball owners approved Colorado Rockies and Florida Mariners, the National League. In 1993, A's Rickey Henderson leads off both games with home runs in the doubleheader. In 1988, the Blue Jays, Roger Clemens, his record was 3,000 strikeouts, and he was the 11th player to do so. And birthdays on this day in 1950, Gary Matthews, Major League Baseball outfielder, 1973 Rookie of the Year. He was born in San Francisco, California. 1951, Rich Goose Gossage, Major League Baseball player and Hall of Famer, was born in Colorado Springs, Colorado. In 1956, James Lofton, NFL wide receiver and Hall of Famer, was born in California. In 1977, Javier Lopez, Major League Baseball player, pitcher of the San Francisco Giants, was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. In 1994, Shohei Ohtani, pitcher of the Los Angeles Dodgers, was born in Japan. And of course, as we move on to other sports, Jason Tatum is the newest member of the NBA $300 million club. The Boston Celtics star has agreed to a 5-year, $314 million contract extension to remain with the reigning NBA champions. And the new pact will begin with the 2025-26 season and keep the 5-time All-Star in Boston through 2029 to 2030 season. And when all that's completed, Tatum's new Supermax contract will become the largest in NBA history. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, well, they helped generate bundles of money through ticket sales alone last month in Chicago for the showdown between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky. But the rookies made less than $20,000 apiece in base salary for their part in the most watched WNBA game in 23 years. Clark still stands to earn up to $500,000 this season, mostly through team and league marketing deals that could be available to Reese too. And both are eligible for the $2,575 bonuses awarded to players who make all-star teams. New York Mets outfielder Brandon Nimmo was hospitalized briefly on Monday after he slipped and fell in his hotel room in Washington on Sunday. Nimmo fainted in the bathroom of his hotel room and hit his head, which led to a pretty significant scar on his forehead. Nimmo immediately called the Mets trainer, who went to his room to help him, eventually took him to the hospital, and he was not diagnosed with a concussion. Andy Murray, one of the last decade's most successful male tennis players, has pulled out of the singles tournament at what is almost certain to be his last Wilmington. And Murray, who has won the Wilmington singles title twice and the US Open once, been battling for the fit to play the All England club for the week. And he is recovering from surgery to remove a spinal cyst, which left him visibly paralyzed or visibly in pain. I'm sorry, I'll take that paralyzed back, just visibly in pain and unable to move his right leg at Queen's Club in London last month. And finally, Darryl Christian, a former, he was a former managing editor of the sports editor of the Associated Press, was known for demanding demeanor and insistence on excellence. Doing more than 4 decades with the news agency, died Monday. Christian died of Parkinson's disease at Elgin Senior Living in Asino, California. And he made his diagnosis, or he was diagnosed by Parkinson's during 2015, and he was 75 years old. And that's what's happening in sports. We want to thank Brian for providing that with us. We're happy to do that for him. He's taking the day off. And I might mention too, since we're still into the sports mode right now, let's stay here just for a second because I want to talk about those Yankees. I want to look at this camera. I want to look at this camera right now. Anyone from the Yankee organization, I want to look at you right now. And I want to tell you guys are really, really disappointing me. Now, you know something, that's not to say that I'm going to leave you because I've been a Yankee fan ever since I'm 14 years old. Now, that's a long time to be staying with one team, you know? And that just goes to show you that if you are a fan of a certain team for those many years, that's a true fan. And up or down, in or out, I'm going to be with you. But I just want to give you the message that some of those teams that you were playing, and I started to worry about the Yankees when the Mets swept them in that series. When you start losing to the New York Mets, I'm not taking anything from the New York Mets guys, all you guys who are Met fans, I'm sorry about that. But when the Yankees start losing to the Mets, that's when I start to worry. And then when they lost to Boston, all right, they lost all of those games to Boston. And then other teams and some scrub teams, you know, I'm starting to worry about you guys. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off. The All-Star game is coming up. All right, maybe you need to take a break from that. When that's over, maybe we can get back to brass taxes. But in the meantime, gear up and start things going right now. I still love you guys, just the same. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, I'm Frank Allen. I'm going to be with you for the duration of the show. And I hope that you're going to stay with us. I want to say hello to all of you guys who are watching us, who took the time off of your holiday, right? The holiday mode is still going on. I want to say hello to all of you guys. I want to say hello to Barbara out of Las Vegas. Good morning to you, Barbara. Barbara, what's the weather out in Las Vegas? Give me some kind of inclination on that. I'm going to guess again, see if I'm going to be right. Last night I was close to it, but it's got to be, if we're doing 80 degrees presently here in New York, you got to be somewhere around 101, 102 degrees going up. All right. And I'm using that 101 from last week, because I know that's what you told me. That's what you started with at the particular time when the show was on the air. 92 right now. Okay. All right. So a little off there. 92 degrees right now and going up. You have any idea what it's going to be later on? Right now it's 92 degrees. Hello to Clement Wallace out there. Thanks for being out with us. I already said hello to Warren over there in North Carolina over there. He's got 95 degrees out there. In North Carolina. So yeah, so the weather is getting hot, and it's going to be 113 degrees later on in Las Vegas. That's what Barbara. 116 for Sunday. 100. Oh, you see that? 100. It's going to go up to 113 degrees in Las Vegas today, and she's already went on beyond the call of duty. Now she's got 116. That's happening on Sunday. Cool out, drink plenty of water, guys. Even though you're in the desert, it's not sweltering out there, but it's hot. That doesn't mean you shouldn't drink a lot of water. Stay hydrated. All of you guys who are in areas where temperatures, you too, Warren, out in Greensboro, North Carolina, keep plenty of fluids in your body. Of course, we of course like to thank you, all of you guys, for being with us on your holiday weekend. And I came out here just to spend the time. I know it's the holiday weekend, but I came to spend the time with you. I want to take a few minutes to spend time with you. So thank you guys so much for being along with us for this holiday weekend. What did you guys do? What did you guys do? Barbara's going, she keeps going. She's got 118 coming up for Tuesday. All right. She passed Monday, but listen, it's good to know. If you're taking a trip to Las Vegas right now, dress accordingly. All right. Leave your furs and your heavy jackets alone. Leave them with you. Those of you who live in areas where sometimes you may need those things, you're not going to need them out there ever, ever. All right. So the best you can do is take swimwear. Of course, there are no beaches in Las Vegas, but listen, you can take a quick drive to Santa Monica, and the beach is right there. Santa Monica is in the LA County, so if you're taking a drive out there, if you're not going to stop, if you're going nonstop driving, it shouldn't take you more than what, Barbara, 3 hours or so, 4 hours, something like that. Maybe, yeah, less than 4 hours. I don't know, but it shouldn't take you that long. But all of you guys, wherever you are, again, stay hydrated. And speaking of hydrated, I'm going to do this. This is no way to hydrate because this is coffee. And I got to tell you guys, coffee is a dehydrated beverage. I don't know if you knew that, just like alcohol, it dehydrates. So when I finish this, even though it's iced coffee, but the caffeine is in it. So I'm going to take, it's still cold and it might cool me off for a time, but even after the show is over, then I'm going to hit the bottle, water bottle that is. All right. I'm going to hit that. So excuse me. So guys, any of you guys going to visit Las Vegas and you're going to take your swimming trunk, keep in mind there are no beaches there. And I wouldn't advise you to jump into the water at the Bellagio because they'll fish you out of there and they'll take you in. All right. Go to the beach, take a drive to Santa Monica, California, which is 3.5 minutes, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, or 3.5 minutes, 3.5 hours to get out there. So driving 3.5 hours. Now, if you have the money, the means to go on a plane from Las Vegas to California, it's less than an hour flight. Once you get up in the air, you're going to come right back down. It's that quick. So it's about an hour, 55 minutes, something like that. So you got a lot of ways to keep air conditioning going. Mary, do you have your air conditioning going? If you're in Las Vegas, you live in Las Vegas, air conditioning is essential. You already know that, right? There's no way you can get around living there without air conditioning. There's two things that's a must in Las Vegas: a car and air conditioning. Now, the buses run on the road, but at night they stop at a certain time. The same thing in California. They have buses on the road, but at night it's a different story. So you don't want to do any walking. So that's the thing. If you're living in those areas, in Nevada, Las Vegas, somewhere in the LA County, in California, San Francisco, anywhere in the California area and the Nevada area, you have to have a car and you have to have air conditioning. No question about it. There's no way around it. As opposed to New York, owning a car in New York is a luxury. It's not a necessity. It's a luxury. But in the other places that I just told you, it's all a necessity. There you go. Let's see. Mount Charleston is 30 minutes away, 30 minutes and away, 20 degrees cooler there. All right, so listen, Barbara's giving us a dope on everything. I like that, Barbara. Thank you. She's giving us a dope on everything. So I'm trying to get together a weather thing going on. Those of you who are joining us, give us a weather forecast and let us know where you're coming from as far as that goes. I already gave you my weather forecast in New York. And of course, I look forward to for the rest of the conversation. I'm enjoying the conversation with you guys. I'm glad you guys came out to enjoy it. Actor comedian Martin Mull died last Thursday at the home in Los Angeles, California. His daughter Maggie announced the death on a social media post, but did not note the cause of the death. Martin Mull appeared in numerous television shows and movies such as Mary Hartman, Sabrina, The Teenage Witch, and one of the movies that I enjoy so much, and it was called FM, where he played a radio disc jockey. He was 80 years old. Renald White, known for his trailblazing modeling career and performance on the soap The Guiding Light, has died as well. And fashion designer Jeffrey Banks, a close friend of the late model, shared the news on Instagram. Banks recalled meeting White early in his career, noting that he was always the perfect ambassador for his brand. White was 80 years old. Usher had a hell of a night at the 2024 BET Awards. During the event last Sunday, the R&B performer received the Lifetime Achievement Award. And the esteemed honor that's been provided and granted to icons like Prince, Whitney Houston, Queen Latifah, and Lionel Richie is celebration for the epic musical legacy. Disney and Pixar, Inside Out 2, is the newest member of the $1 billion club. The animated feature has tallied $1,014 billion worldwide as of Sunday, making the highest gross film since Warner Brothers' Barbie, top $1 billion at the global box office. Birthdays, actress Edie Falco is 61 today. Huey Lewis of Huey Lewis and the News, one of my favorite kind of people. He's 74 years old today. Julie Nixon Eisenhower is 76. Jazz musician Arthur Blythe would have been 84 today. And the late Smiley Lewis, R&B singer, would have been 111 today. So happy birthday to all of them, one and all, and happy birthday to you if you're celebrating a birthday. And if you are celebrating a birthday anytime soon and you'd like us to announce it here on the show, we'd be glad to. And for you to do that, you have to get in touch with me, right? And I have two different sources how you can do that. You can contact me by email or telephone. All right, I'm going to give you my email address first. How about I do that? Let me give you the email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. It's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. So you get that right. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number. 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now, you can get in touch with me for a lot of reasons, such as I mentioned, if you have a birthday coming up and you would like us to announce it. As a matter of fact, if you're here right now and you have a birthday, let me know right now. And of course, I'll read it off when I'm finished doing what I'm doing here. But if you have other things that you want to talk about, let's say about the show here or what we're doing here, if you want to critique our show, because we learn a lot from you guys when you tell us exactly how you feel, no hold barred, we listen to everything that you have to say. Or if you have any ideas about the show or what you want to implement, you can do that right now if you're online with us, and we'll, of course, listen to you. We can't promise you everything, but we will certainly listen to you. Now, anything at all, even if you just want to just drop by and say hi, you want to call and say hi, you want to email and say hi, I saw the show, I just want to say hi, and that's about it. Whatever it is, you're not wasting our time because we love hearing from you. You can do that. And keep all of the information that I just gave you wherever you can keep it. How you keep it, I don't know, but most people keep it in their telephones, you know, in their computers or any of their electrical things like their computers or their tablets or whatever they want to keep it, you know. And if you're old school, you can keep it on your Rolodex. Do they still sell Rolodex anymore? I don't know, but some people I know probably have Rolodex still, and they just want to keep it just for having it, you know. They don't sell them anymore. You don't need those things anymore. However you hold on to it as close as possible so you could have easy access to it at all times. So let me give you my email address once again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Give me the telephone number once again. Telephone number is 641, the chime is right now, 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. And we hope that you do get in touch with us because we love to hear from you. let's see, Barbara went to a casino, what, the Durango casino pool yesterday. And it's a great local spot. It's a great local spot. Any place in Vegas, man, when you want to keep cool, you can go to the pool because, of course, you know, as I said, there are no beaches. You take your swimwear in Vegas, and the only thing that you're going to do is jump into the pool because each hotel has a pool. So you could either use the swimming pool, or if you have or feel like having sand under your feet, do what I suggested. Go to California, you know, drive by 3.5 hours to Santa Monica, where the beach is, and jump in the pool there. Or not the pool, but the beach. You have sand on your feet. But again, you know, you're going to travel in Las Vegas, and I'm due to go there once again. I am. I'm really due to go there once again. So, Barbara, I'm glad you had a good time. And I hope that you're still having a great 4th of July holiday weekend. And all of these places where they have a lot of hot weather, you know, like in Charlotte, North Carolina, and of course over there in Greensville, North Carolina, Las Vegas, and all of those other places where people are gathered. I want to thank all of you guys. All of you guys, I want to say all of you guys who are watching us on Instagram, thank you so much for being along. Yeah, I see you out there. And again, if you desire, and I hope you do, get in touch with us. Get in touch with us and let us know. Now, again, I want to say one other thing too. That we've got a little more than 15 minutes to go on the show. A little more than 15 minutes to go on the show. That's a lot of time right now. We got to do a lot of vamping and do a lot of filling in on to what do we have to do on the show. Take the time out to tag some of your friends. If you're watching us on Facebook, you know how to tag, right? Tag some of your friends. You don't have to tag them all, as many as you want, though. Tag them, and they'll see that tag is coming from you. They'll click onto that tag, and of course, they'll see that, and they'll click onto it, and they'll bring them directly to us. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Always do that. Click onto that when it says subscribe. And of course, from here on in, that you get an instant message, a quick instant message that we're on the air. When we pop on the air, or whatever kind of activities that happens on the site, it will give you information. It will give you a quick notification, and all you have to do is click onto it, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel. And again, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, just keep telling your friends about us. And of course, you guys who are watching us on Instagram and who are watching us on YouTube as well, you can cut and paste the link and send it to your friends, and they'll see that. They'll click onto that, and it brings them right here. Okay. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Well, anything goes, and everything happens in the news once again. If you're living in the UK, you guys who are living in the UK, all right, congratulations. I don't want to use the word congratulations because I don't know how you really feel about it. But you do have a new prime minister who was just elected to the UK. He's the new prime minister, and he's going to be residing over on Downing Street. That's number 10 Downing Street in the UK, and that's Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer is the new prime minister of the UK, and that happened. He won his votes. He did well, and now he's your new prime minister. And now, if you're from the UK right now and you're watching me right now, sort of wondering how you feel about that, but I was going to say congratulations, but I don't know how you really feel about it. A lot of people are having a good time over, enjoying it. But we all don't share the same feelings as here in the United States. We all don't show the same feeling about who we have in office, whether it's locally or nationally. You know, or you guys who live in different cities, you have mayors and you have borough presidents and all of those things. You may not feel the same way as the next party, you know. So I'm not going to say congratulations. I am just going to keep it in the back of my mind, but I'm just going to say, just give you that information out in the UK. The Prime Minister is Keir Starmer. And so, again, there you go. It's a lot of news, a lot of news. And I'm not gonna. I don't want to bring any bad news. I'm just going to quickly talk about it and just get it over with. You already know that this week, this past Monday, the wonderful Supreme Court, our wonderful Supreme Court, already gave immunity to the president. Now, Joe Biden is the president of the United States right now. Of course, if he was an undecent man, he can just say, "Okay, I can do that, and I'll just get my opponent." And he's not going to do that. But what we're concentrating on right now with our president right now is what happened when they did the debates between Donald Trump more and, of course, Joe Biden. They both did terribly on the debate side, so nobody won that debate. No one at all won that debate. But they're showing a lot of concerns about Joe Biden, whether or not he should continue his service or whether he should bail out. All right, that's for you guys to think about and see. And I'm not going to make any comments on that. I'm going to keep my comments to myself on this one. Usually I comment on a lot of things, but I'm going to keep my comments on this one because I don't have a lot of time to go through it right now. But whatever you think, that's what you think. And I'm not going to even make any suggestions at this particular point. I usually do, but right now I'm going to keep this to myself. But I just wanted to bring that out there. You already know about that and whatever your feelings is about that. And of course, the delayed sentence. Now, you already know that Donald Trump is supposed to be sentenced on July 11th. That was delayed as well, and that's not going to happen until September 18th. Why that was delayed, you already know that. Keeping that to myself as far as you decide. I don't know what your decisions on it, but please, the only thing I can say is, ladies and gentlemen, is think before you react or do anything. And even when it comes to the president, whatever your feeling is, think about it first. Give it a little time and think about it. I know we don't have a lot of time before election day, but give it a little time and think about it before you make any rash decisions. That goes for the Republicans and the Democrats as well, all of you guys. And when you go to the polls, do the same thing. Think before you do. All right, that's a very important thing. Okay, just in case you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're with you, of course, till the top of the hour. We want to thank all of our friends for being along with us. And I want to look back in time to see if there are any more who had joined us and wanted to talk. Okay, if you guys wanted to say any more about it. I don't know what guys wanted to say any more about it. I don't know what happened. I think we kind of I don't know what happened. Okay, here I had a little bit of feedback just a minute ago. But I'm okay now. You heard that feedback, right? Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about those movies. I want to give you, I don't want to go off the air without talking about those movies. Now, you already know this is the weekend that's coming up, and we're into the weekend right now. Officially, we are into the weekend, but I want to talk about those movies. Now, I have movies that, of course, I take from Turner Classic Movies that I want everybody to have, because you may want to catch up on some of those great movies that we have. And if you do, I have a few for you right now. So let's start off with those movies right now. I got lost for a minute, but I'm back. Okay, here are some classic movies. Let's go back to 1939. Here's a movie called The Women. And believe me when I tell you, this movie, if you're looking for a movie with all women on it, well, this is the movie. This is the movie. They're all women. There are no men in this movie at all. And it's called The Women. And it stars Norma Shearer, Joan Crawford, and Rosalind Russell. All right. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. It's a great comedy. I love it. I've seen it before. It's Friday at 4:45 p.m. Eastern on Turner Classic Movies. Then you have The Out of Towners. And this goes back to 1970, The Out of Towners. And this is with Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis. This goes back to Turner Classic Movies again. And you can catch this one. It's Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. It's all right there on Turner Classic Movies, right? And it's another great comedy. I think you're going to love that. It's a color movie. The women are black and white. The color movie is Out of Towner. And here's another one that's in color too, Technicolor back in those days, 1949. If you like baseball, you'll love this. This is a comedy baseball called Take Me Out to the Ball Game, starring Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra, along with Esther Williams. It's Turner Classic Movies, and that's Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, another black and white movie. And it stars Betty Davis and Joan Crawford and Victor Bono. Victor Bono, I should say. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. That's another black and white movie. And here's one of the classics of all classics. It goes back to 1960. You guys love it. I love it. Called Psycho. I don't want to pin it on anyone except for Anthony Perkins, who played Psycho in the movies, along with Janet Leigh and Vera Miles. That's Turner Classic Movies. And that's Sunday at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. And it's all right there on Turner Classic Movies. So you have a lot to choose from. Now, when you go to Turner Classic Movies, ladies and gentlemen, go there and check out when you go there, check out the program guide, because the program guide gives you more movies, more than I just told you about, right? They give you more movies. And you go there, you might see a movie that I didn't mention, but you may think, oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list to watch. Or I am going to watch that in real time. Or I am going to DVR them. You can DVR all of these movies just in case you don't get a chance to watch them in real time and watch them later at your own convenience. So I'm gonna go and check out them. So there may be a lot of movies. And that's why I always send you there. After I give you all the movies that I pick out, I always send you to Turner Classic Movies so you could go through the program guide and check out others that may be there that I didn't mention. And while you're on demand, there are a lot of free movies too. You can go there on demand and see a lot of great free movies from A to Z. Now, some of them are classics, some range from the 1930s, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, and up. Movies that you haven't seen in a long time, movies that may jog your memory. They're all right there. And you can just check it out, just go right down the line. And of course, on demand, you have pay-per-view, right? Pay-per-view movies that are in the theaters at this particular moment that you may have to pay a little more for, but you pay for them at home, pop your own popcorn or whatever. And of course, movies that were just in the movie theater, but were taken out, and you can still purchase them online right there and watch them too. You pay a little less than the movies that are in the theaters right now, but you can watch it all from the comforts of your own home. And of course, you have great children programs, documentaries, and of course, sporting events. They're all right there. And sporting events, just in case you miss anything, you can always depend on watching them the following day on demand, sometimes without commercial interruption. It's all right there. So take a tip from me, it'll make a good weekend. And then of course, everybody is streaming. You go through the streaming and all of that is happening along. So there you go. So let me give you these movies once again. It's called The Women, 1939. Okay, that's The Women with Norma Shearer, Joan Crawford, Rosalind Russell, and the Out of Towners with Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis. Let's see, The Women on Friday at 5:45 p.m. And for the Out of Towners, that's for Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Take Me Out to the Ball Game with Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, Esther Williams. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 12 noon p.m. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? And that's Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, and Victor Bono. And that's Thursday. That's Sunday, Turner Classic Movies at 1:15 p.m. And then you have Psycho with Anthony Perkins, Janet Leigh, and Vera Miles. That's Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. And I hope you enjoy all of these movies and you have a lot to do for the weekend. And speaking of the weekend, I'm going to go back to mine. I crawl out of the shell, but I'm going to go back to mine. But I want to bid all of you guys the rest of the great weekend. and have a good time. But do it very safely. If you drink, don't drive. Take a designated driver with you, and just have a good time. And again, have a great day too as well. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a good time, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.